What's up guys, it's your boy Kidamaki. Today we're going to talk about Boruto chapter 53 again. So I know I made a video on this before, but I just want to talk about a few things I mentioned in that video and the response I got. So as you can see here, a lot of people disagreed with my opinion, and some made it very clear, respectfully, and some not so much. And that's fine, right? I expected that. But I wanted to address a few points you guys brought up in the comments and what you guys think I said wrong or what you guys thought about the panel in the chapter I was analyzing at the moment, right? So I just want to go through that again. Now, I want to make this very clear. I love the Boruto series, right? The manga. I still think the anime is trash. You guys are not going to change my mind. Only the series can do that, right? And that's my opinion, right? Personal preference. That's okay. But I'm talking about the manga, right? The manga in general, it's pretty good. But, you know, it has a lot of iffy writing at times, you know, as it pertains to power scaling and, you know, just in general character decisions. And, you know, I mentioned that in the last chapter review, a lot of people did not agree with it, right? So I want to talk about one moment in the chapter, no, specifically. And that's when Sasuke switched places with Kawaki instead of switching places with Ishiki. Now, this specific point or critique was really a no-brainer for me, to be honest. Like, if you think about it, Sasuke is trying to save Kawaki, right? He could have done a lot of things to save Kawaki. And one thing I want to push forward is that Sasuke had chakra. You know, most of the comments are saying that Sasuke was battered and he was tired. But one thing I can't recall is Ishiki having the power to take chakra with his punches. Yes, I understand that Sasuke did get beat up quite a bit in this chapter earlier on, but Ishiki did not extract his chakra. Like, he's not really using, neither him nor Naruto, they're not really using chakra based attacks because Ishiki can absorb chakra. Sasuke did use Chidori once, which was a stupid decision, but Chidori doesn't really take a lot of chakra. Sasuke can spam Chidori, right? So let's say that Sasuke, instead of switching with Kawaki just like that, right? Let's put a different plan. What if Sasuke uses Renegon to create like a time portal or a dimension portal and then switch place with Kawaki? Then Kawaki could have escaped through the portal, right? And, you know, everything would have been okay. But Sasuke didn't do that, right? Instead, Sasuke just switched places with Kawaki and then told him to pick up a bomb and throw it on the ground and then run behind a rock. Like, I want you guys to understand how flawed that plan is. Like, look at it this way. Even if Sasuke is gonna go with the original plan that's in the chapter, why didn't he throw the bomb first, then switch place with Kawaki? That way, Kawaki would have time to hide. Instead, he switched places with Kawaki first and then asked Kawaki to throw the bomb. You know, between that time with him asking Kawaki to throw the bomb and Kawaki actually picking up the bomb and throwing it, Ishiki could have grabbed Kawaki. It's just a plot point or a plot convenience why Ishiki just stood there and allowed Kawaki to do whatever he needed to do to escape. Like, I want you guys to understand, when Kawaki first entered the battlefield, Ishiki appeared in front of him almost instantaneously because Ishiki is pretty fast. So if Ishiki wanted to catch Kawaki at that point in the chapter, he could have done it. It's just because the writers didn't want him to. And that's what I'm talking about. When you have plot convenience, it kind of breaks the story, breaks the immersion because you can't believe what you're seeing, if you understand what I'm saying. And, you know, in the chapter review, I brought up something and I said that maybe he should have done it this way. Why didn't he switch with Ishiki, then, you know, use his eye to create like a time portal, a dimension portal, and then jump through it with Kawaki? And some of the responses I got is that, oh, but Ishiki would have just teleported towards them and grabbed him anyway. So wouldn't that be the same thing here? That would apply here as well, because you guys have to understand that regardless of whether Sasuke switches places with Kawaki or Ishiki, it's still the same distance, right? So if Ishiki can catch Kawaki if Sasuke switches places with Ishiki, he can definitely catch Kawaki if Sasuke switches places with Kawaki because it's the same distance. So if we're going to apply the same plot convenience to this situation, which I think is a flawed plan, why not apply the same plot convenience to the other situation and say that Ishiki just decides not to rush in? Because Ishiki could have done that. And I saw another person say that, oh, Sasuke was holding on to his arm so he couldn't go after Kawaki. I don't remember that happening. I remember Ishiki choking Sasuke and Sasuke holding his arm, but that didn't stop Ishiki from moving, right? Ishiki still had full function of his body. He could simply just throw Sasuke away and teleport in front of Kawaki. It's the same thing. Sasuke was doing nothing to stop Ishiki from grabbing Kawaki. Ishiki decided not to. And that's the point. That's called plot convenience. And that's the problem I have. Because if Sasuke had actually created a proper plan, let's say he threw the bomb, opened the time portal, then switched places with Kawaki and told him to jump through the portal, then I would understand why Ishiki couldn't have maybe grabbed Kawaki before he escaped. But if you're going to do something like this that happened in this chapter and Ishiki just decides not to rush after Kawaki, then that's a problem for me because that's plot convenience, if you understand what I'm saying. And another thing I want to talk about is when Kawaki tricked Ishiki using a shadow clone. So Ishiki was using his Byakugan to basically try to search for Kawaki, and because Kawaki threw this bomb that can block the vision of the Byakugan that Sasuke miraculously has, Ishiki couldn't find him. So Ishiki started to panic. Ishiki went up into the air. First he cleared the smoke actually, and he didn't see Kawaki because Kawaki went behind the rock and started to hide. Instead of actually searching behind the structure that's in front of him, Ishiki decides to go up into the air and just starts going mad, right? Because he can't find Kawaki, and decides to just stomp on Naruto, which was a good plan. You know, stomping on Naruto to get Kawaki out is a good plan, but it's still a iffy situation. It's a 50-50 because Kawaki can decide not to come out, then what would Ishiki have done? Died? So the better plan would have been to actually look behind the structure that's there, because remember, Kawaki is not a fast character without his karma. And if you throw a bomb, it's only going to cover a few centimeters or a few meters, right? So Ishiki can see that Kawaki didn't go right, he didn't go left, he obviously didn't go up in the air because he can't fly. The only option he has is to dig into the ground, and Kawaki doesn't know any jutsu like that. So the other option would be to hide behind the structure that's behind of him. So Ishiki, being a smart character, which they built him up to be, should have known that Kawaki would have been behind one of those rocks. All he had to do was look. But he decided to panic. Now, if he had just said, alright Kawaki, continue to hide, I'm just gonna kill Okage, I would be like, oh this dude is crazy, right? This is awesome. But he didn't do that. He started to panic. It's as if he didn't know what to do, and that's the problem, because there was obviously a solution to his problem, which would have been to search behind the rock, right? And that's a problem for me. But then he switched, he kinda tricked Ishiki with the shadow clone, the doppelganger jutsu, and I had a problem with that. Now I can take a correction, which I will do now. Now someone in the comments, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry bro if you're still watching the video, but they corrected me and said that the Byakugan can't see through the Kage Bunshin, right? The Kage Bunshin. So I agree, that's fine. If that's the case, that's fine. You know, my original analysis was based on the fact that, you know, the Byakugan could have seen through a shadow clone, like a regular clone I mean, right? But there's a difference between the Kage Bunshin and just a regular clone. A regular clone does not manipulate or mimic the chakra flow of the original user, it just clones the outer appearance, right? But with the Kage Bunshin, it actually distributes the chakra evenly amongst all clones, and that is why Neji couldn't distinguish between the fake Naruto and the real Naruto in the fight. Don't get this mixed up with the last part of the fight where Naruto was laying on the ground and Neji couldn't see that it was a clone, because at that point Neji's Byakugan was turned off, so either way he wouldn't have known. I'm talking about before that happened, when Naruto created multiple clones and Neji was like, I can't tell the difference between the clones, and this is because Naruto was using Kage Bunshin. So I take a correction there. If that's what Kawaki was using, Kage Bunshin, then fine. I understand why Ishiki would have get tricked by that, but it's still kind of iffy for me, seeing that this is actually the original Byakugan, like from the source, and not a watered down version like Neji's. So I expected it to be more powerful, but obviously it's not, and that's fine. I don't really care. Now, as it pertains to the most infamous part of the chapter itself, where, you know, Sasuke lost his eye, I already said in the video, right, it could go both ways. I'm not swayed in this position saying that could not happen, no way, no how. I literally said in the video that it's possible that it could have happened, but I can't see other ways where Sasuke could have prevented this, right? And honestly, we don't know if he did prevent this because we only saw what happened in the last part, right? We don't know what can happen in the next chapter. He can use Izanagi, rewrite history, reality, or he could just put Momoshiki in a genjutsu, which I think is utterly impossible. I saw someone mention it on FB, so I don't really know. I think it's plausible, but I think it isn't in some ways because yes, Momoshiki does have 2 Byakugans in his eye socket, and Sasuke destroyed one of his Renegons, right? The one that's in his palm. But Momoshiki does still have a Renegon on his forehead. So if it is that Sasuke can in fact still put Momoshiki in a genjutsu because the Renegon is not in his eye sockets, that's okay, I guess, if that's how it's explained. Whatever the writer says goes, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, I think that would be an ass pull in a way. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I just think we'll wait and see, right? I just think that Sasuke on a whole, his character has been nerfed, right? And you know, a lot of people are saying that I'm a Sasuke tard, like you're a Sasuke tard, like yada yada yada. And trust me, I'm far from it. I said this in the video, I'm nowhere near a Sasuke tard. And you know, if you see my posts on FB, if you see my videos, you guys know. You can call me maybe a Naruto tard, you can call me that, but a Sasuke tard? Come on, that's far from it. It's just that when I'm watching a series, I give my honest opinion, right? I'm not a Naruto tard in the sense that I don't just accept whatever the Naruto writers throw at us. And I don't think that Naruto is the strongest character in all of anime, right? I'm not that. You have some people who are Naruto tards, and not in the sense that they think that Naruto as a character is the strongest character in the entire Naruto series. No, they think the series itself has no flaws and the writers can never make a mistake. Everything is perfectly fine. And you know, if that's you, that's fine. But if that's what you expect to get from my channel, that's not gonna happen, right? I'm gonna critique it, I'm gonna criticize it, and I'm gonna big it up. I'm gonna give it all the praise it needs when it deserves it. When it doesn't, it won't get it. And in this case, it certainly doesn't deserve the praise. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You know, I made a video a few weeks ago and I said, you guys should watch the Boruto manga because it's awesome. And that's because it is. I truly believe that it's awesome. But it has a lot of flaws, and you guys really need to understand that it has flaws. The Naruto's universe is not perfect. Naruto Shippuden, Naruto, it has a lot of plot holes because Kishimoto had to really expand the story, and he had a lot of plot holes with doing that, right? And that's fine, you know, that's okay. We worked around it, we moved on. The series is still great in my opinion. But at the end of the day, you guys still need to be able to point out when the writers could have made a better decision. You have to understand that these are not real people. The characters in Naruto, in Boruto, they are not real people. You can't judge them individually and say that, okay, this character is stupid. Maybe he wasn't really thinking clearly. Maybe, no, that's not how it works. These people are fictional characters. They don't have a mind of their own. The only person you can say maybe didn't think of this are the person that are writing the actual characters or writing the storyline. That's how you look at this. Why didn't the writers make them do that? What's the explanation behind this? We need logical explanations. If we don't have that, then it's just plot convenience or plot hole or just utter and complete nonsense. And Sasuke in this chapter was beyond stupid. It was unbearable, to be honest, right? He made a lot of stupid decisions. He did not use a lot of powers, and that's fine because Ishiki can absorb them. And when he actually had a chance to use his power to do something good, he forgot about his powers, right? He could have teleported Kawaki to another dimension. Sasuke is supposed to be a smart character. He's supposed to be a smart character, so you should be able to write him in a smart way. He should be doing smart things, not dumb things, right? That's how it's supposed to work. That's your job as a writer. I'm not a writer. I'm not trying to take anyone's job. You know, I love the Boruto series, the manga, to be specific, but I still think it needs work, and I still think the writers need to sit down. I have a lot more to say, but I'm just gonna cap it here. I think I said enough, but yeah, that's it. I'm gonna make another video on what I think, how Sasuke can actually get his Renegon back, and some misconceptions a lot of people have about Sasuke and how he got the Renegon in the first place, right? But yeah, that video will come about maybe day after tomorrow because I want to upload this so you guys can just understand where I'm coming from, and then we can just move on, right? So Alright, thank you guys for watching, and have a good day. Remember to like and subscribe if you're new, and share the video. Okay? Peace.